Hi there folks, Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. My son Jason Giordano, as usual, doing the video. Today, what we're going to do is, we're in Orinda, beautiful countryside here. What we're going to do today is technical stuff. You got to have at least 15-20 years in to try to attempt to do what we're going to do today. For me it's a piece of cake because I do this year round. We got a mold right here on top of this concrete that is separating. On all of these tops, they're separating. And we also have buckling of the wall. How do I know it's a mold? Because concrete, listen, solid, mold, hollow. Like the window here, this is a mold. Hollow, different sound. So I know they're styrofoam molds. The reason this styrofoam mold is separating here and it's not around the house is because they went over concrete. Now when you go over concrete, you put your polybond material in here to hold this, and generally what you'll do if you have two clamps that go here and they hold it for about 4 hours. But sometimes what these guys must have did is they put the polybond and they just leaned against it, because you can do this too if you got a good seal. Lean against it for about 5 minutes, then when you lift up it should be set. Well, it didn't set too well. We are first going to pressure wash all of this. I'm going to put a Cycloflex polyurethane caulking in this crack as well as the other one over there because they're pretty substantial. Then I'm going to put fiber mesh tape over it. And lastly, I'm going to put another polybond coat over this because the water's sitting on this. We don't want the water to sit on it. So I'm only going to raise the center about 1/4 inch and feather back into it. I'm going to use the polybond because it's very strong. Okay guys, as I said earlier, this is a Cycloflex polyurethane caulking. It's really good stuff, but very nasty to get on your clothes or your tools. You usually need gas to wipe it up. And I'm using this and I'm forcing this caulking into the crack. I want it to go 1/2 inch to 1 inch inside this crack. That's why I'm holding it there, squeezing it full. And the reason I want to fill this crack is, as I said earlier, you could take this particular product and put a few drops or a couple lines and then hold 2 bricks together and it will hold for years and years. I've done it. Whereas bricks are porous. You can take 2 pieces of wood, clean 2x4s and use this. Yeah, it'll bond well, but when you're doing something like this that's styrofoam on concrete, this is the best way to get it. So what I'm doing now is I'm forcing it in here even tighter with my thumb. And this stuff is nasty, but you just wipe it on your clothes right there. Then, after this stage, I'm going to apply my mesh tape, just like that. And that's about as good as you can do. Okay, this guy here, we put the material on. And when I smoothed it out, you can actually tell. When I use my eye, I can't really see the flaws in it, meaning it's concave. So here, I'm putting just the slightest slope on it. They don't want it too curvy, otherwise you won't be able to put a plant up here. But what we do want is we do not want, or what we don't want is the water to stay up on here. We want it to flow off evenly. So this is how we do this guy here. Alright guys, we're getting ready to wrap it up for the day here. I got this base coat on here and I'm going to color this tomorrow. The blue stuff you see is, even though we pressure washed, I put Weldcrete on everything, especially painted surfaces. I skim coat this one too. It was kind of concave. Tomorrow I come, we'll do the completion. We color coat these caps, we color coat this. And that's the proper way to do these molds here. Okay guys, figure out where we were. We gave this a couple days to set because this polybond, if you put it on thick as I did, will tend to hairline crack. So it did crack. And barely. You'll see it over in the next one. Now that we got this beveled so the water doesn't sit on top, I put a product, it's called Image, pronounced Image, but it's an acrylic and it's got the least amount of aggregate or sand in it. That way when you spread it, it'll match this existing, which has been painted. So anyway, this is final. I just spread it and I was floating it. Let me show you guys over here how you spread it. Okay. Now this guy here, no cracks in it on this particular one, and I went pretty thick. Over there I just had minimal cracks, very little. Anyway, I'll show you how do we do it. This is an acrylic finish here, and what we want to do is just coat it. I'm going to coat it here. Okay. Doesn't take long if you know what you're doing, and plus I'm using a swimming pool trowel. That way, if I'm using a square trowel, it'll leave trowel marks. Okay, that part's done. This leaves a really hard, waterproof, flexible finish. If I just went with the Habra, which I was thinking about, it's not waterproof and it tends to crack sometimes. Since they have a real problem with the screens and everything being tied in down here, I figured, I'll spend a few bucks more, go with the good stuff. So, there you have it. Doesn't take long if you know what you're doing. It does take practice. Okay. One more over here. The stuff sticks to everything, so you don't really want to drop it on the ground like, unless you're covered up, because then you got a lot of cleanup to do. Okay. That wasn't too bad. And as I say, I'm using this swimming pool trowel because if it was square, you'd see the lines here. And when I get done with it, I'll let it set up for about 15 minutes, 10, and then I just hit the joints like this. Hit the joints, and now we have an acrylic finish on the caps, a lot thicker than paint and flexible. Of course, they're still going to paint this. This way, we're really watertight. There you have it. It's pretty simple if you know what you're doing. Anyway, this is Kirk Giordano Plastering. My son Jason doing the video as usual. He's going to help me start spreading the other two caps when we're done. We'll see you on the next one, and thanks for watching.